Welcome back to Business Boon, a Boon Chamber product and hosted by Deep End Talent Strategies. This episode is powered by Boon REMC. I'm Shawna Lake, founder of Deep End Talent Strategies.
And I'm Byrum, also with Deep End Talent Strategies.
Today, we're diving into a topic about great storytelling, something that's important to many businesses, or should be at least. We're joined by two guests today who have worked together for quite a while now. Krista Stillwell from Stillwell & Co. and Clinton Taylor from C.A. Taylor Construction Solutions. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And so, first of all, if you could just tell us a little bit about how you've been working together and for how long, and a little bit about the nature of your partnership.
Sure.
Yeah, so Krista and I met each other. I think it's been, we met at a YMCA board of directors is how we met. And noticed that she stood out in the group as being a marketer.
Surely not.
So that's kind of how we met. It's been, I think, 8 years ago now, maybe 10. And so the C.A. Taylor at the time, we were looking for a way to brand ourselves better in the community and throughout the state. And so Krista and I talked, and it's just been a good fit ever since. And the topic of storytelling is a lot about how our business is. And so between her and I, we were able to put together a complete brand around C.A. Taylor. And then our focus has always been to tell a story, because people connect better through storytelling than anything else. We wanted our website and who we are as a company to feel real. We wanted our clients to be able to know who we are before they actually meet us. And so she's been a great asset to our company to pull all that together in a digital sense.
Mm-hmm. And I think what this opportunity presented was the opportunity to take what he was already doing really well. I mean, the nuts and bolts were there. His website was really great. He had built it himself. He was already pursuing deep relationships with his clients, friendship in a way, and that was kind of a part of the DNA of how they serve their clients. And so then to tell those stories was just a very natural way of being able to plan some video and some verbiage elements that have actually really been huge marketing tools for him. And for him, it was a part of his DNA. It was a part of who he was. But from a marketing standpoint, it was a goldmine of content and information. So it's been a really fun journey to meet his clients and then also be a part of those storytelling opportunities.
It's amazing. It sounds like you didn't have to make the business case for storytelling.
No.
For him. But for other people who maybe don't understand why, how would you explain why storytelling matters? Mm-hmm. And is it different for certain industries like construction?
So I think in the world we live in, we are served so much information on a daily basis that I think it's natural for us to be skeptical of what we're reading or seeing, right? We're questioning, is the source true or valid? Is it supported by, real things? Is it coming from AI? Those types of things. And so when you're able to hear and experience a story alongside a client to a vendor relationship or that sort of thing, it feels true to you. You can trust that. When someone else who has been in your shoes is saying, I chose this vendor and they did a great job for me, that is the single best way to sell a product or service, right? And so I think that's why storytelling is so impactful and so helpful for organizations, because it's very true. It's the truest way to represent your product. In construction, so to speak, I think that it's not a common marketing practice. I think blogging and educational resources are relatively common from a content standpoint, but truly discussing the relationship that's built, the why of how Clinton serves his clients from start to finish by building a powerful foundation of trustworthy information, trustworthy decision-making as a part of the process, it's really powerful for him then to be able to bring that value to the clients. Other industries could definitely benefit from more storytelling. There's always opportunities for better case reviews and firsthand information. It's just a matter of it's difficult sometimes to grab that out of your customers and clients willingly. So, thank you.
Yeah. So, Clinton, on your side of things, how has working with Krista, in using storytelling impacted your business in the construction world? And can you maybe give us a specific project or case study that you all worked on together?
Sure. Yeah. There's been lots, and being able to build the content in a website format where you can send other people to it and say, oh, have you seen our website? Sending people there, and with those minute-long clips talking about the, story, the telling of how the project started and where it went, bringing owners in. We did Cowpokes, Working Western down in Cloverdale, and that was a big one where, we had 2 separate owners, and they were able to come in and tell 2 different sides of the story. The owner that owns C-Bar C, the owner that owns Cowpokes, and how they had a merger together, how they were able to keep the C-Bar C arena working at the same time. So we were able to tell that story of how the whole project went, what both their perspectives were, and then capture that in like a minute to 2.5 minute sequence. And then it gives people the opportunity to come back later, and people go there so much in the community. Central Indiana is like feeding into there, it seems like. And so they get to go back to that website, see that, and that story just continues to work, year after year. So yeah, it's just been and we've got so many that we've done around the community. We try to do 1 or 2 or 3 a year, and we're due to do some more. But it's just a powerful tool that, you can use year after year. And there's nothing better than the owner themselves speaking on, we asked, was this a successful project,
Yeah.
So you find out pretty quick if there was something there that you missed. But it's great. It's a great opportunity.
And then from a vendor relationship standpoint, so Clinton represents Nucor Building Systems. He is a reseller, retailer.
I'm an authorized dealer.
Authorized dealer. That's the terminology. So what's great is as we're on each job site, it represents opportunities for us then to go to the specific structural elements or technologies from Nucor Building Systems that he's able to utilize in those spaces. And so then we turn those into marketing tools for other content throughout the site, but it's on a real site that people could go and see. And so it opens people's eyes to, so that's how that technology could be used in my own building, right? And it's just so much more interesting than showing a video that Nucor made. No offense to that, they have great branding, but it's firsthand, right? It's something they can actually tangibly see.
Yeah, and a lot of the websites you see today are real, either picture, like, oh, we did this project, okay? We did this project, and there's verbiage that you can look and see, but when you have a video that has, human life there, right?
Yeah.
That you can see people's facial expressions and hear people talk, and they're passionate about the project and how it went. That's powerful, and then like Krista mentioned, we can take Nucor and tie them in, and we're a dealer for Kogan mezzanines. We can tie that in. So all these parts of the formula of the company as a whole, including our employees, get tied into this. And so it makes it kind of a masterpiece that's just user-friendly, and it really draws people. And I think from the analytics we've looked at from Facebook and from Google and from our website, we have people's attention. We can tell from that data that people are actually, how people are clickers, right? You start clicking, and pretty soon you're on the next page. Well, we can see we have their attention because they're actually watching the videos, and they're not leaving the website. They're going to the next piece, and they're getting a full representation of who CA Taylor is as a company. And so that was our goal. And that's where that storytelling is so powerful.
Yeah, because you're already building that relationship with those future clients.
Yeah, and it's not uncommon. I'll say, hey, why don't you go look at our website? We've already looked at it. We've started.
They already know you.
That's great, So, and we put a little piece of us in there too, as who we are as people, right? And like kind of like what we're looking for, and the characteristics of like who I am, who we want CA Taylor to be. So they get a little piece of that. It's just not the corporate feeling. It's more of a personalized creation.
Yeah. I think that's fantastic.
It's good to know that Boon REMC is always there. For generations, we've powered the growth of our neighborhoods, businesses, and everything in between. Today, our commitment is stronger than ever to provide affordable energy you can depend on and keep you connected to what matters most, now and for generations to come. Boon REMC is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, your source for power and information.
And for your clients who are being featured on this video, what a nice way to give back to them. And they're also getting some promotion for their businesses. So,
Yeah. And when we build out these landing pages, so to speak, they're getting video and pictures of their project. We're talking about the specific elements of those things. I think what I really like about that too is then someone can come to Clinton from a prospecting standpoint and say, we really liked this feature about this project.
Sure.
Right. And they can refer to a specific thing, and that's going to alert in his mind, okay, I remember exactly what we did for that, because a part of the story is that walking through that guiding of the client from the beginning where you're designing, envisioning, to that build, and how all of that plays together, all the decisions that you have to make along the way. I think I read this morning that the average person makes 30,000 decisions in a day. So imagine if a business owner is then adding a building project onto that, it just helps empower that decision making in an informed and more comfortable way for him as a salesperson, but also as the project leader.
I think I'm already like 29,000. So this is done. I'm just going to call it.
They said business owners is probably 3 times more than that. So we're at about 90,000 in a day on average. So imagine.
I believe that.
Yeah.
For someone who hasn't really started to think about storytelling or branding, what advice would you have, Krista, for where to get started?
Yeah. So the first thing I always say is family and your everyday life. So one of the things that he does on social media on a regular basis, they love to fish. His kids love to fish with him. They have a cabin he's working on in Minnesota. So him and his family, that's their getaway. And so he does a great job of telling the story of that from a personal life standpoint. Pictures of his kiddos on job sites, pictures of his kiddos on the weekend when he coaches his baseball team. Those are simple ways. And I know we feel like our family, everybody has something that they can talk about. So how is our family interesting? But as a business owner who is balancing life and business, it is intriguing to people to see that. It warms you up as a human being when you do walk into a space and they can refer to, I saw that picture of your dog from this weekend. It looked like you had so much fun. It just naturally breaks the ice in those conversations. So that's a very natural place to start. When I teach social media workshops, one of the things that I always encourage people to remember is that you should be posting 70% of your content that has nothing to do with selling anyone anything. It should be very natural and genuine and organic. And the best way to do that is what you're already taking pictures of on your phone, very candidly. Past that point, it's about telling the story that best relates to your goals for the year. And so if it's more clients, if it's generating leads, how are you telling the story about how you're out pursuing those leads? Are you taking pictures of the lunch and learns you go to or the chamber networking events that you go to, and try to do that once or twice a week. It doesn't have to be a burden, but you're already doing it. It's just a matter of now repurposing what you're already using.
Thank you.
Yes.
You make it sound so easy.
I know. And I'm not
sure
great at it
do.
either. I mean, here's the thing. As a marketer, I'm still not great at it, right? The individual on my team who oversees my marketing is all the time saying, Krista, we need more pictures of you, right? So I had to start an album that I'm filling with photos that I'm already taking for her to use because I'm still not even good at it, right? It's just a matter of just paying a little extra attention. Oh, this picture might be great to throw on my stories today. So,
But thank you.
one step at a time.
And I think it is helpful to just commit to one thing. That's very helpful.
Very practically. One thing, one time a week, one thing.
That's great. Clinton, you and Krista obviously have a good relationship and a good partnership that you've built. What advice would you have to business owners who are just trying to get started in what to look for in that partner to trust to help them do this work?
I think probably the first thing is that you've got to have some chemistry together. I think you really have to spend some time with the individual people that you're looking to, because essentially you're partnering with them. I mean, you're paying them, but they're building who you are, right? Yes. And so you have to enjoy working with them, right? Because let's just face it, we always enjoy working with everybody, right? So make sure that you invest in somebody that you like, and that you're like-minded, and you got to be 100% open. Like, if you don't like something, you can't let them run down the road 2 or 3 months with it. You got to say, I don't like it. And I think sometimes people have trouble saying that, right? Because they don't want the interference or whatever. But yeah, she and I are pretty open. I'll say, I don't like that, and we'll do something. And she'll be like, you really need to do this. And at first I'll say no, but then I'll think about it and I'll come back and say, you're right. Because I'm pretty hard-headed, right? But I think you got to have that collaborative communication, be able to express yourself openly and not feel like you're holding back. I think those are the big things. And you also have to be willing to invest the time to get it like you want it, right? Because she's not going to know everything about me, so I have to feed her that information. And as business owners, we're often extremely busy, right? And so even me, I have trouble taking the time to actually feed her the information she needs to make that side of it work. So yeah, that would be my recommendations.
Thank you.
That's great. So if we had a magic time capsule, and we go back in our careers, what's one thing that you both wish that you would have known back in the day? We asked all of our people who come on the show. So I'd love to know what's one thing you would change or bring back to today.
I think when I was younger, I didn't value the opportunity for connection as much as I do now. I think there were people that could have been very formative into my early career, like when I was in college and things, and I was just focused on getting the degree and getting through and getting done. I didn't invest in building relationships in that time frame as I wish I would have, because I was in opportune environments to build formative relationships in my life, right? And so I wish I wouldn't have put off some of those relationship building skills that have become so valuable for me in business now. I mean, my entire business has been built on word of mouth referral, which I am immensely blessed to say that I don't have to advertise very often. I might have to one day, but I think part of it is because I work so hard to build relationships. And so I would just say, even especially for young professionals, don't ever undervalue a connection. It may not make sense right now, but that person could become a very big part of your life in the future.
That's great advice.
Yeah, I'd say probably for me, the biggest thing is just the networking piece, because for years, my wife would say, you need to get involved with the chamber. You need to get involved here. And when you're growing a business, it's hard because you're pulled a lot of different directions. But over time, I learned that if I just would have taken the extra time, the hour to go off the clocks, because that networking piece is so powerful to grow your business. And even today, I don't do a good enough job. But if you can just take the time and just stop what you're doing and realize that the future of your business depends on word of mouth, because word of mouth will sell more, no matter what your company is. Word of mouth, networking will sell more, do more for you than advertising ever will. So that would be my advice, is to, put the time in. And even if you're a little bit of an introvert, just go, and make that one connection and then build from there slowly. And it just takes the pressure off.
Thank you. Such good advice.
Right.
Continuing with the advice train, if people were to start to enhance their storytelling of their brand or their company, what is one thing that they could start doing to move the needle?
From a business to business standpoint, it is finding those clients that have been really great relationships for you and finding ways to tell those stories. So a lot of people take for granted, you hear marketers like me, you've got to get reviews, you've got to get reviews, you got to get reviews. There's going to be one client in your book of business that has just absolutely loved working with you. And all you have to do is ask, and they'll probably be willing to do something. Well, even if it's providing you a quote in email that you can throw into a social media graphic, throw onto your website, it's a matter of just asking. And if you can start with 1 and then go for 2 and then 3 to 5, people like me will love, because that is content gold. Just like he said, that is the most powerful way to sell what you do. It's firsthand accounts. So that's my recommendation.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you'd add?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to top that, right? Because that's kind of the direction. So yeah, I think she's spot on. It's taking that leap of faith to get outside your comfort zone a little bit, and the people that you're already selling to, or the people that you're already doing business with, you already have a relationship with them, right? A lot of them you're probably buddy to buddy with. And so it's easier to go to that person and say, hey, we're going to start this. Would you represent me? And I want to obviously you want to make sure they're happy with what you're doing, right?
Right.
But as long as you have their voice makes it easier for the next one. So engage with people that you're already doing business with. That's the first step.
And usually they need the same thing. So once they see it done, they will probably also consider that you potentially doing the same thing for them. And just like you've seen these storytelling opportunities we've talked about today and how powerful they've been, it's been powerful for both businesses. And that's such a reciprocity situation that everybody loves.
Yeah, and the other thing is like a lot of times we will word the script in a way that they can use it for them too. And there's been times where we say, hey, I'll pay for the mic time, and you can do a little thing for yourself while you're there. And so that makes it easy, right? Because we get our information, and then and then they get to do their information. And we've done that where we've tag team and got 2 of them done at once. And it kind of helps people to get in the role.
That's creative. I love that.
That is
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Nice.
So thank you both for being here today. I want to say thank you so much for talking about your storytelling and how you two connected and your businesses have grown by working together. But how can people, our listeners and our viewers, connect with you and learn more about you and your businesses?
Sure. So Stillwell and Company, Stillwell and Co. We are at stillwellandco.com. You can view our website. We do have a blog that we post on monthly for just practical tips and tricks related to marketing for small businesses. We do have an email newsletter that you can subscribe to when you're there. And then we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So you can follow all of our content there as well. And usually I'm out and about. So if I haven't met you yet, I'll probably try to at an upcoming event or networking opportunity.
Yeah, so Clinton Taylor, but CA Taylor Construction Solutions. So you can find us online at www.cataylorllc.com. And then we're also on Facebook under CA Taylor LLC. And we're on LinkedIn. So we're on all the majors. But getting on our website's the easiest way to learn the most about us. And then we've got a brand new office just west of Lebanon on 32, close to Western Boone, and our door's open. So anybody's welcome to stop in during the week and say hello. And we love to showcase our building because it's what we do, it's what we build. So we welcome anybody that'd like to stop out.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you both so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back with more insightful conversations. And until next time, keep learning and growing with purpose.